Cause I'm about that. Cause I'm about that. I'm about that come up, running up on them fools that are talking foolish. Try to get them funds up, killing them mics just like I ran and jewels in. Y'all gonna get done up front, knowing that kid with an attitude, but you can't really blame this motherfucker to do what he had to do. I'm about that cash flipping, I'm getting it on and off the market. Not about that VIP, not me, not never been a fan of carpets. All about that RIP, for all of my Jesus gone departed. All about that finish, what I started, I'm about that.
Top down, like you're not ready. We ride, we ride, we ride. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Down, like you're not ready. We ride, we ride, we ride. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Know that I'm about it. Want a man I can bring the drama, but it ain't by chance I'm fucking rapping. You don't really want a problem. Made a little cash in the back end, but still rapping like I'm starving. Yeah, y'all gotta ask who the man is. Hope I'm gonna be like, beg your pardon. I'm about that.
Top down, like you're not ready. We ride, we ride, we ride. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Down, like you're not ready. We ride, we ride, we ride. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Yes, we do. We own the night, and what a night it is going to be. It is football night in the Valley, and YSN is going to be your one-stop shop for everything that is pigskin here this evening. DJ Yoakley, along with my good friends across the board. Guys, it is National Just Because Day. We always started off with something national. This is the best we can come up with outside of Jeff Bezos dialing up a National Power Rangers Day, which I'm sure he's going to get to in a minute. So,
Hey, 2 days in a row, he's got his shirt undone.
I mean, this is casual, Jeff. We have some breaking news coming from YSN that we'll let you in here on just a minute. So we had to have a talk with Mr. Bezos because if you – listen, let's just break it. Can we just break it before we get to the national stuff? If you don't love these two, don't tune in tomorrow because it is going to be Quinn Pushkar and Jeff Bezos, the new voices, tomorrow night of the Brookfield Liberty game. Gentlemen.
Look at the excitement on Quinn's face. He actually looks pissed off.
Oh, he's been pouting all morning. All morning.
It's like Harry and Lloyd. They're going to be Harry and Lloyd tomorrow.
Quinn, are you all right?
I'm great. I'm good. Got my little curls. I'm ready to go.
Jeff, how good are you feeling right now? Your debut tomorrow night on pay-per-view.
Well, I'm excited and nervous at the same time. I don't do good with kids' names, so I usually just go with their number because that's a little bit easier for me. Could have to put a new role in there. So
who's play-by-play? Who's color?
Jeff is going to be the play-by-play guy.
My first part of the game is going to be this is the most exciting playing football right here, boys.
I listen. We give Jeff a whole bunch of grief, but I gotta admit,
he knows football.
He does know football, and I am going to rewatch this game first. Like I am going to watch his game and be entertained no matter what the outcome. So, and that's part of what we do, right? It's not just about the game; it's about entertaining the entire way. So you hear some crazy stuff on YSN, but you also get to be entertained the entire time. So congratulations, and officially, JB, welcome to the team. And I think your broadcast partner already wants a divorce.
He does. I love him. It could be worse. He could be going with other people, but he's going with me. We're going to have a good time when we get up there.
Quinn will also be on the road tonight, the Road Warrior, as he will make his way down to Sebring for the Mcdonald game. We had a little bit of a rash of injuries, so to speak, on our roster. We do want to send thoughts and prayers out to Jimmy Franciselli and his family because of what they're going through right now. So if you're out there, Jimmy, thoughts and prayers are with you, buddy. We wish you were on the air tonight. But the show has to go on naturally, and so tonight it'll be Sebring and Mcdonald, and Quinn will be a part of that broadcast. Can I just give my props to this guy? Like this dude came in, zero broadcasting experience, Zero experience outside
Sorry,
of.
just look at his face.
He's so mad.
It's like somebody kicked his dog or
Dude.
something.
Not mad.
You look like LeBron right now. Just hit a game winner, bro.
Not mad. I'm just sitting there.
Oh, he's mad.
Oh.
Getting
He's mad.
cheese curls.
Eric knows him best. Eric, is he mad?
He's pissed.
Can
He is super
Can
mad.
Eric come join this with me? Maybe I'll have more fun that way.
Wow.
Wow, you're already ditching Jeff?
Hey, we divorce all the time. It's
No,
a love hate
tonight, me and Eric will
relationship.
do the McDonald's
Love
Sebring
hate
game. We'll have fun.
EB, if you want to do the game, you're more than welcome always. I never want to cut you out, but if you want to do it, you're in.
I'm down. Let's go.
There it is.
There it is.
Hey,
Pick me up at 6. I want dinner too. Quinn.
no, you got
I want dinner.
Dinner's on me. Dinner's on me. Yeah, you got to be
Yeah, I
there.
was going to say, there ain't no money coming in with me because I'm broke.
These girls,
Quinn gets paid better than anybody on this panel, and he says he's broke. But where do you put all that money, Quinn?
in that red thing in the parking lot.
You name pieces of your car after your paychecks.
Yeah, well, currently it's all going to gas because I've been driving all over Tarnation today
What the
You drove to Salem.
in a car that gets 8 to the gallon.
Well,
That's
if
your
you
fault
go
for
100
buying
miles an hour and hammer it down, maybe you get more than 8 miles to the gallon.
Today,
Hammer it
you
down.
gotta keep your mouth shut.
Sounds like he's
Can
from
these two
Pittsburgh.
just have a show on YSN?
Yes,
No.
there will be a podcast, the Q and J.
No.
All right, back to the point. Wow, that got off there. But thank you, Quinn. That was where I was going. Thank you, and thank you, Jeff. Welcome in. And now, EB, hugs to you too, brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
let's do this. This is
if
fantastic.
if that's for real, you guys got to be there by 6 o'clock in Sebring.
Oh, you
yes,
got-
Dad.
Yeah, you got tough dad
Yeah.
coming at you now.
Yeah. Hey,
Good
that's
cop,
my,
back up. I'm good
yeah.
cop.
Oh yeah, he's just happy you're doing it. I
I'm
want to make
already
sure you're
locked
there
in
to
the
do it.
back room here. I don't need to be. No, I'm not doing that.
You're not doing what?
Can't wait.
He was gonna say
I'm
something
fine.
smart.
Yeah, he's gonna say something
Bro,
smart
go
naturally.
Trojans,
Go
bro.
Blue Devil.
You can't be.
Well, you got to say go Trojans too.
Yeah, they're one of our teams.
You can't. You
I'm
can't.
a McDonald guy today.
You can't do
That
that.
means EB's got to be the Trojan guy.
There you go.
Nice.
Trojan man.
Trojan man.
All right, it's National Just Because Day, and guys, I don't even know what the hell this means or where this goes. EB, I mean, we had time to think about it. What the hell does this mean?
I don't know. Just because. That's sort of like I'm doing this game tonight. Just because.
Because you're the man. That's why. Anybody have a just because they want to throw out there on National Just Because Day? Ant?
Just because. Let's see. I imagine it's like things you do that you don't know why you do them. You just do them just because.
Kind of like when the Royals. Didn't the Royals give up the lead last night just because they're the Royals?
Just because. Just
I
because.
mean, Garrett Cole sucks just because.
Oh! Got him! Jeff, are you down there? Can you hear that?
I really wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying
at all.
attention. I was wondering what Anthony's shirt said, but
I do only do one take. I don't do two takes.
he probably said Garrett Cole sucks, but that's okay.
He did, as a matter of fact.
That's all right.
Wow.
Hey, Billy, why don't you go jump on another bandwagon team, huh?
Just wait. I want to pop up here next week.
Yeah, when the Padres sucks, Billy jumps off quicker than a kid off a diving board to another team.
I thought he was going somewhere else.
Yeah.
I was nervous. I was nervous. Good job, Jeffrey. Good job. Ty Bartell, you're being quiet. You're the middle of the Brady bunch. Why? What's your just because?
I don't know if I mean, I probably do a lot of things just because. I feel like before like any game, I think what I usually do, no matter what I'm announcing, if it's basketball, football, baseball, I usually just tune into like an older broadcast, whether it is like football, basketball, baseball. It doesn't matter what the team is or what year it was. I'll throw one of those on and I'll listen to it 2 hours before the game, try to give myself some inspiration, there's no real rhyme or reason to why I do it because it's not like I use any of the material they do, but I guess it's something that inspires me. Yeah, it's just because.
That is interesting. That is a little bit weird, but I dig it. I'm behind it. Like I listen to Greg Brown calls to pump me up, and then I listen to stuff on the way to the games to get me excited, to get that transfer of energy going. So I'm kind of on the same page as you, but maybe just a different notebook, as Ron Potesta would say. So, all right, guys, it is football night in the Valley. There is 5 games. There are 5 games. My English teacher would rip me a new one if she heard me talking right now. 5 games, starting with what I think could be one of the biggest games in the area for the next few weeks. It's Canfield, it's Howland, and it's Richie and Gary Niddle, 2 Canfield guys calling this ball game. How do you think that the Cardinals will stack up against the Tigers this year? We'll start with, Anthony, you've been doing your research for YSN Countdown. What are you thinking?
Well, when I look at Canfield, I think they return a couple more starters than the Tigers do. Both these teams are going to be very good. I think they're both going to be very formidable. They're both going to have a very good season. But I think Canfield comes into week 1 as a little bit more of a experienced team, and that might help them dealing with all the different things you have to deal with in the uncertainty of training camp and gearing up really fast. So I think Canfield's going to have the edge in that. But I expect it to be a really close game.
Let's go to the lone Canfield Cardinal on this panel, Quinn Pushkar, in the mood of moods today. Quinn, how do you feel the Cardinals are going to stack up this week against Howland?
Gonna smack them.
Dang! All right, well, that was nice. Paul, I mean, what's your take on? And this is a very good Canfield team. We had a chance to talk to Coach Pavlansky, and you can hear it. Steve Leslie did a great job on the coach's corner. Coach Pav never. He's always modest. You can never read the hand that he has, but he talks so highly about this year's kids and how it's a different year. Paul, how do you think Coach Pav and the Cardinals are going to fare here this week?
I think they're going to do good tonight, it's a great matchup. Just one of a handful of just awesome matchups we have this week 1. I mean, teams having to play in their league and having to play only a league schedule. You're seeing a lot of good matchups. You're losing some rivalries, unfortunately, that would have normally happen. But, to start off the gate with these guys tonight, I mean, this is going to be big. Switka says, let's go Irish. Yeah, Ursula's playing Cheney right out the gate tonight, too. I mean, there is just some great games, not only tonight, tomorrow, even into Saturday. I mean, it's the time to be on YSN is right now.
One-stop shop, and we'll have more on some schools maybe jumping on board here in just a little bit. I think Canfield's a team to be reckoned with this year. I mean, they're always considered a football powerhouse, even in a season that they probably aren't at their best. The watermark is a little bit low some years, but I think this is a good year. I think this is a sprint to the playoffs in a 6-game opportunity that Coach Pavlansky is going to have his team roaring and ripped and ready to go. And it all starts tonight. Quinn, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big is the rivalry between Howland and Canfield?
It's not that big.
It's not that big?
It's not.
What number is that?
It's not that big. I mean, Canfield's main rival is obviously Poland. And to be honest with you, when I was in high school, nobody really cared about anything other than Poland. We always just wanted to play Poland. That's all we cared about. Now, granted, I mean, Howland was decent, so it was a good game. It was kind of I guess you can say it, kind of a rivalry game. You had to still get yourself up for it and everything, but that was just because they were a good team and we knew that.
Was that the Devion Smith Howland that you were in with?
Yeah, so Devion graduated the same year as me. Who else they have? They had Brennan Cope. He ended up going to Ohio University playing wide out. They had a really good kicker who was a soccer player, I think professionally in Germany or something like that. So they were really good. They were really good players. And then obviously Devion, you couldn't stop Devion.
Switka chiming in again. Save this for later in the show, but the Yankee Update headlines back to back L's. Don't worry, the Yankee Update will be back at the end of the show, and it will be hosted by none other than the Yankee captain himself, Jeff Bezos. So we'll get back to that. I'm interested to see what he has to say because there's not a whole lot of good happening in Pinstripe Town.
Two got yesterday from right there.
Freddie Freeman goes ja.
Billy already on the bandwagon already, but with the Braves. Good job, Bill.
He did the Enzo Amore chant instead of the tomahawk chop. Nice job. Niles versus Jefferson. I will have the pleasure of having this call tonight at Bull Ryan Stadium. This is a Jefferson team that is very much improved in any 8 matchup that a lot of people have their eyes on. There was a line of people outside waiting for tickets to this game. I believe it was yesterday. I saw on the social media account. This is a big game. Any game in the NE8 is a big game, and there's a lot of people that are looking at this Red Dragon team with Zach Leonard at the helm, looking to be one of the premier teams in the Valley. Can you guys think of a team in Niles that has been this exciting and this dynamic over the last few years? I can't. I mean, it's a rhetorical question, I guess. There's a lot of excitement in Dragontown. I'm excited to have this. I'll actually have the call with Marco DeFalco, who is a former Red Dragon himself, now a member of the YSU baseball team. So I'm excited to have that call, and we'll be introducing a new member of our team as well. And Paul, I'll get you all those numbers. So just leave that alone.
Thank you. Please.
You're welcome. You got it. One game that I'm interested to hear about, a team that I've wanted to have on the network for a very long time, the Louisville Leopards. And they are a team out of Stark County, and we have been looking to crack that egg for 3 years. And here we are. Louisville, the first team to jump in, and the water is warm. Louisville Nation, Leopard Nation, all excited to be on YSN, and they take on Dover on the road. They actually have 4 road games because they're independent. They were just trying to pitch together a schedule. What are some of the difficulties of having a 6-game season and 4 of them on the road? Billy, we'll start with you.
I mean, it just changes the dynamic of preparation of when you taking off in a bus, your meetings get cut short on game day. Your helmet's not in a locker, you're carrying it. You got to maybe have a big duffel bag. I mean, it's just things like that. You kind of have to, you don't get that home vibe where you're walking out of your own place to the field. And it just kind of messes up the rhythm of Friday night a little bit for you.
EB, if I told you that you'd play about 25% of your games at home, would you sign up for that or no as a coach?
I mean, as a coach, I'd still do it because I'm there to coach. It's more of 2020 is a weird year already, and now that you're on the road the whole time, I think it's just psychologically tougher on the kids than anything. Sort of like Billy Mack said, who knows what's going on with school if you're going to school the whole time or if you're not. And then you have hopefully not a long bus ride. Louisville to Dover shouldn't be too bad. But, when you do it day in, day out, you bank on playing at home. You thrive to play at home. That's part of the fun of being a high school football player is to have that home game. And if you only get, 2 of them, it can granted, everyone makes the playoffs this year, but it can really, I guess, drag on you a little bit too.
One of my bigger questions from you, EB, and then move it. I'm going to take what you said and move it on to Paul. Paul, is there such a thing as home field advantage, and does it even matter that they only have 2 games?
That's actually what I was going to talk about. So you kind of read my mind. I was going to talk about, traveling on the road. Only a small amount of your fans are going to get to go on the road now. Depending on how big those stadiums are that they're traveling to, you're looking at 150 to 200, maybe 250 fans are going to be able to travel to those games. I mean, so thankfully for us, Louisville's on our network, so those fans will get to watch their team as they're on the road. When you're at home, you're going to maybe add a couple hundred more fans, but you're still a home fan. You have your home announcers; they can pump in some music being home, and no one can read your mind. Yeah, thanks, Coach Fish. But it's just one of those things that there is an advantage of playing at home. Even if it's a couple hundred people, they can still make more noise and have some home announcers and stuff than being on the road. But being on the road is going to be tough. I mean, you're going to be behind the 8 ball the whole time because you're going to be the road warriors.
Ty, do you feel there's an advantage to being home still, even though there's very limited fans?
I think there's always going to be a little bit of an advantage being home because of like what Billy Mack hinted at. There's just those small things that some people don't really think about when you're at home, and it's just those minor conveniences. But I mean, I guess the mentality you gotta take on it, and I mean, I'm sure EB and Paul would probably agree. You got to kind of go in with your team like we got to be world beaters right now. It's us against the world almost every single week. We have more road games than home. Let's go into their stadium and let's get the W.
Anthony, you've been on both sides of this coin. You've seen a lot of road warriors go into playoff situations or go into big, atmospheres. But have you ever seen it where it's kind of even because there's really nobody around? There's nobody in the. It's going to be like a 7th, 8th grade feel to it. I guess that's the best way to compare it, right?
Right, and the crazy thing is 7th and 8th grade. I mean, those kids usually travel in troves because they just like the experience of getting to ride on the Spirit bus. But it's like it's going to be different because Paul brought it up. There's going to be so many more home fans than visitor fans, and that's going to be a big difference because in a normal high school football setting, the visitor fans, they might be separated, but they can make just as much noise when you do something good as the home fans can make when the home team does something good. Now it's going to be, you do something good and you hear like a couple of claps, and then the home team does something good and you hear a thundering roar from the other side of the stand. So you're going to have to find other ways to get yourself hyped up after big plays. But with a program like Louisville, who's just a winning program with a winning culture, I'm sure they'll have no problems with just going in there and knowing how to win.
Steve Leslie with the dime drop on Jeff Betos. Betos is a legend. Speaking of, let's go to that legend. Let's get your 2 cents on the situation, JB. What's your thoughts on, limited fans naturally? Does it hold even a home field advantage anymore, even if it's just 1,000 to 500, let's say?
Well, yeah, obviously, if you're the home team and you get 1,000 people in your stands, that's sometimes like for the smaller schools, that's a big crowd. When I played for South Range, we played Columbiana for the first year when we got actually played Columbiana back. There was 8,000 people at the game. As a freshman, watching that walking down the ramp was good. And the other point, like you made with the four home games, right?
Yep. They'll have 2 home games, 4 home games.
Okay, this is going to sound really weird. I liked playing on the road. I liked being in that atmosphere where we weren't liked going to South. Like when we go on the road, we went to Marlington and we beat them 14-7. They didn't like us coming there. They didn't want us there. I like that. You got a little more downtime to yourself. You got to watch and look at the scouting report a little bit more. You got to be by yourself. At home, you're with your family until the game starts, until you drive home, and you're looking the stands more. You got people you got the cheerleaders closer. You got people around everybody. So I would say the road is actually probably, I like it better.
Quinn, are you a road warrior, or can you get behind being the home field advantage?
I'm a road warrior.
Who is that? That is Munson. That has to be Munson.
Yeah.
Let's mute the mic.
The mailman. I don't know when the dog's going to start barking. The mailman just got here.
Thanks, Steve. What's up, Steve?
Quinn, are you going to answer this, or should I just move on?
Lord.
Yeah.
I'm stressed out with Jeff behind me. I agree with Jeff on it. I can't believe I'm doing that, but I always enjoyed being the road guy. I mean, in basketball, it's different than football, obviously, but in basketball, I always enjoyed going to home and playing in places that you weren't liked. It was easier for me to kind of get in that zone that you wanted to be there and stuff like that. It was easier than being at home. I mean, at home, like Jeff said, you have distractions, you're talking to people and all that stuff, whereas on the road, I mean, it was you show up to do your job and you do your job.
Horse? You have a horse as a dog? Jeez.
Well, you had a tiger yesterday, so what's the difference? Guys, the fourth game on our agenda tonight is Sebring versus Mcdonald. Obviously, talking to Coach Seidel last night during the Coach's Corner, he feels that everything is changing at Sebring, and I got to be honest, I can feel it from afar. He's got this team believing in themselves. They got a couple of secret weapons they're going to unleash tonight, or so he says. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to hear about it. But you also have a team that is based and foundationally solid as Oak, and it is the McDonald Blue Devils. What are your experiences with McDonald? I mean, they just – I feel like they're always good at everything. Let's go to a couple guys that are very knowledgeable about McDonald, especially on the girls' basketball side of things. Quinn, talk to me about the, McDonald mentality. Easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen from McDonald in the past, I mean, they're going to run the football. They're going to ground it, and I mean, they have a great back in Shadle. I mean, he's a great back. He's a brute, and he is one of those guys that seem to get stronger as the game goes on, the more touches he gets. So I'm very interested to see how he does.
You're going to see it firsthand.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. But
You're
yeah,
supposed to be excited about these games.
I'm excited to see how he does, and I mean, I'm very interested to see how Sebring kind of comes out this year.
Is there a scenario that Sebring surprises you and shocks the world here? And I think there's probably 99% of people are saying this is Mcdonald by 10 to 15 or more. I feel like Sebring's got a chance. I'm not counting out the Trojans. What would the Trojans have to do in order to walk away and shock the world here on opening night, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, as cliche as it sounds, they need to have good defense. I mean, if they're able to, bottle up McDonald's offense and then maybe sneak a touchdown or two in there against McDonald's defense, then, they got a good shot. I don't think they're built for a shootout. So I don't think it's not going to be a big, 35, 34 or Coca's Pizza for lunch. Steve, always talking about food.
Shout out to Coca's, our newest sponsor. So, yeah.
So I don't think they're built for a shootout. So they need to be able to hold their own on defense. If they can do that and get a couple breaks, I think that's where that big upset's going to come in.
EB, what's the challenges to being such a heavy favorite, so to speak? I mean, Sebring's got everything to win. Mcdonald, if they don't come out and win this ball game, yes, they make the playoffs. However, you look at this game one and you go, how does this affect your seeding? How does it affect all of that? What are the challenges that Mcdonald's going to face tonight?
So everyone knows, and I'm going to take this from Coach Spate. When we were in high school and we played a lesser opponent, he would always say, don't play to the level of your competition. Go in and do your business, take care of everything. And it's kind of a trap game for McDonald. If Sebring can control the ball, get a couple of stops and not turn it over, you have the heat, which I'm going to assume is going to take a factor. It's game one in a weird year, so you don't know what the prep is like. So everything, and I'm going to assume naturally McDonald's probably thinking, well, this is Sebring, so all we have to do is show up and we're going to walk out victorious. These are still high school kids. You get that mentality going, a lot of weird things can happen, and if Sebring can, get some momentum shift and get a couple quick ones or get a short field, a lot of things can happen. I've seen a lot of football in my life, and I've seen a lot of crazy shit happen in between months. So, as it goes, don't take anyone lightly. And Sebring's been chipping away to get back into the football realm, and they've had a couple good years to where they floated around 500, 3 or 4 games. They're just waiting, so they're hungry, and you have someone in a corner, they're hungry, you don't know what they're going to do. That's a dangerous team. So I'm curious to see what they bring.
Anthony Malone with a great comment. No scrimmages mean no tape on your opponent. Makes every game interesting. I think everyone knows what to expect from McDonald because they're tried and true, right? They are ready to go. They know for the last however many years, this is what you're going to get. They're going to line up, they're going to punch you in the mouth, and then you're going to square off and let the best man win. Sebring, I feel like just in talking to Coach Seidel, something is up his sleeve. He's got something. I'm interested to see how this one goes. When we do our picks a little bit later, I'm just going to be the guy that picks sure to go wrong maybe, but I'm probably going to end up picking the Trojans. I just have a feeling. Nothing against McDonald, but I just got a feeling that Coach has something. So now we turn our attention to probably, I would imagine, is the game of the night for a lot of people. And Billy Mack, I didn't touch base with you on the Sebring McDonald because I want you to talk about Ursuline versus Cheney, what it means to these two teams, and just the atmosphere to be expected on the field, not necessarily in the bleachers, but on the field tonight at Stambaugh Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, as far as on both sides, they're not really too friendly. I mean, obviously Mooney's their big rivalry and all that, but a lot of these Cheney kids for years used to come to Ursula and vice versa, so they intermingle with each other a lot. They know each other real well. You're going to see a lot of athleticism out there tonight. I'm actually expecting a shootout. That's the type of game I think that they're going to come out and they're just going to there'll be a lot of points out there tonight.
Is it the last team that has the ball wins, you think? Or is this something where a defensive stop is going to be the difference between a win and a loss?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to come down to the last 4 minutes of the game.
Okay. I can appreciate that. Ty, this is your kind of game, man, slinging the rock all over the yard. How excited are you to be able to watch this tonight and just see, like Billy said, the athleticism on the field? And there's a lot of D1 talent on that grass tonight.
Oh, there is, and I was excited. I said, other than the Fitch and Boardman game, this was the other game I was really excited for opening week. And with Cheney being their second year for a football season, they had a pretty decent year for their first year coming back. I think Cheney's on the up and up. I think they're going to end up being a really great team. They seem like they have a really good sports programs over there, and it's just nice to get this game back too, just to see this Cheney and Ursuline game coming back. I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm in agreement with Billy Mack. I think you might see a shootout tonight because it's just those two teams are just hard nosed, go at them and go get them type of teams. So I think it'll be a very fun game to watch here on the network.
Anthony, are you going to get this game confused with Madden 21, or is this something that you feel the defense is going to step up?
No, I think it's going to be a shootout like everyone else. But to your point, I think the defenses are going to step up, and it's going to be about who forces a turnover in a big situation, because that's the only way these offenses are going to get stopped, in my opinion, if they give the ball to the other team. And it's going to be fun to watch. I think it might be a really high scoring, maybe in the 30s or 40s before it's all said and done.
I like that. I like the sound of that. That's a lot of offense. Guys, your take. Jeff, we'll start with you.
This is probably the game of the night that I'm looking most forward to, next to the Dover-Louisville game. I really think Cheney is going to be a really good football team this year, and I would pick Cheney to win. But hope it'll be a real good game, be a shootout. And
we can hear you. The microphone doesn't just turn off. What was that?
Hey, 2 minutes of Brookfield Liberty game. You're going to get that all.
Oh, good, great.
Yeah. Hey, you're up.
Just get it on the air. That's all we care about.
You want to talk now?
Give them their $10 worth, Jeff. Quinn, your thoughts on this? I mean, this is a great matchup. Ursuline and Cheney. This is the one that is must-see TV. And honestly, this is the one that I feel if tickets were available, they wouldn't be for very long, have COVID not hit. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's a huge game. And like Swick has said, Youngstown needs Youngstown football, basically. This is a revival of the inner-city games that used to always happen, and I'm excited for it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Reardon has something special up his sleeve for this game, and I'm excited to see it. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things coming out of Ursuline, and I'm just excited to see how they do.
I'm excited as well. You got 5 phenomenal games. Presale is now available, and Louisville fans, we have some great news for you. A sponsor has stepped up and has paid for the entire year of your pay-per-views. So for Louisville, you can watch Louisville for free tonight. Right here on YSN. So we'll have more about that here later on. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's huge. Naturally, I mean, a sponsor steps up and says, "Listen, I don't want to charge the people. We want to see Leopard football. What is it going to cost? I'll scratch you a check." This is awesome. So I'm excited to dig deeper into this because believe it or not, they were fans of YSN. So that's huge. I mean, it's not surprising, but it's huge that someone from that far in Stark County has been watching us for 3 years and seeing what we've evolved to. So,
and that's great for the school too. I mean, the school getting their
and they get their cut. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's getting their cut, and they don't have to worry about that. It's awesome.
Absolutely huge. So I'm excited to make that announcement. More info to come later, probably earlier next week. But they wanted to be anonymous. We're trying to shake that off a little bit. So that is you got 5 games. One of them is completely free tonight, so make sure you set your alarm for 7 o'clock tonight because it all goes down, and you can watch them all for $9.99 a piece, and that's per device. So make sure that if you order it on your phone, you don't try to watch it on your television without trying to connect the two because it won't work. So if you want to watch all 4 of them, if you want to watch all 5 of them, open up 5 tabs, and like I said, one of them's free, so it's going to cost you $40, but it's one hell of a Thursday. So make sure you tune in tonight. Again, Canfield, Howland, Niles, Jefferson, Louisville, Dover, Sebring, Mcdonald, and Ursuline Cheney will have our picks at the end of the show. But we are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about, let's talk about Steve Leslie, how great he's been. If you had a chance to check these coaches' corners out, my man is rocking it. We're also going to talk a little bit about the New York Yankees with the Jeff Bezos update. And we'll talk about baseball. And again, some unwritten rules that we're seeing. We're going to sidestep the political stuff in the NBA because it's just not worth it. It didn't go well. Yeah, it's just not worth it, not worth our time. We want people that want to play sports. You want people that want to talk about sports, and that's what we're going to do. When we come back on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by these awesome sponsors at the bottom of your screen.
Friday night, it's fresh limousine. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, like I'm living the dream. Platform shoes, strutting down the street. It's gonna get hot in here, I hope you can handle the heat.
Over the years, you watched us grow, and as we've done, so has the Myers Family Insurance team.
Thanks to all of you who have trusted our families to help you with your Medicare needs.
Myers Family Insurance looks forward to helping you now for years to come, so call our family today and remind them how cute we are.
Myers Family Insurance continues to be the area's resource for all your Medicare and retirement needs. Call today, 330-286-3044.
21
Good evening,
News.
and thank you for joining us.
Let's get right to our top more experienced reporters. A new Wilmington restaurant.
GM Lordstown.
Telling more local stories.
We'll look at Baby boy is recovering from a broken.
Around our
Good
valley.
afternoon. We are here in Youngstown, right up.
Because you expect.
It's important for everyone. No place like home.
More local news.
Then Mercer County Court.
They become life-threatening. 21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
All right, we are back.
Just want your logo to go.
Thanks, Paul.
You want on this? You want to go? You explain. What are you explaining?
There we go. Sorry.
What are you explaining?
I was explaining the process to my wife about sponsorships. She's asking.
Is there one on the cooker here?
Well, maybe, but she was asking about Louisville. I said I'll find that answer out later, but I was giving her the breakdown of what.
Is it a bank? Is it a bank?
Sponsors are. Maybe.
I would be excited. Luke Schuster, not so much. Let's talk. I mean, I just glanced at the front page of ESPN.com, and it's there's not a whole lot about sports, to be honest with you, guys. This is it's a new day and age. Without getting into it, because it is a hot button topic. I mean, we're a sports network. ESPN's a sports network. They should be reporting on whatever sports are available. I know that 6 months was very, very long for us, and if it wasn't for Class B and community baseball, it would have been a very, very tough tap dance, so to speak, to fight through. What are the advantages of not playing sports during something like this, and then deciding 2 days later that you want to play? Like, doesn't that defeat the purpose?
You would think.
I don't think I'm the person. I mean, like, it's like, how do you answer that? I don't even know what's going through the mind. I wish I could have a really candid conversation with some of these players and just try to understand what's going through their minds and what they think they're accomplishing, because I want to know. I want to hear from them. I want to hear what's in their minds, and I'd be open to hearing it, but we don't really hear anything other than what they want us to hear in the public eye. So that's all we have to go off of. But I would love to have a sit-down conversation with some of these players.
I'd love to. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm kind of torn on it too, because you think these guys want to be playing a sport that it's a kid sport. Let's boil it down to it. Basketball, baseball, football, soccer, these are kids' sports. These are something that now you get to do it as an adult and make a lot of money doing. So if you don't want to play the sport and you want to be some politician or some kind of political analyst, then go do that. Because there's plenty of people that are in the minors and in the B leagues and all that stuff that would gladly take your spot and play the sport and just, I don't want to say this to be mean, but like they'd be quiet. They would just go, they want to play the sport, go play the sport. If you want to voice your opinion and do those things, do it on your own time, but do what you're being paid to do. You're not being paid to work on one of these networks and be an analyst of all the political issues that are going on in the world. You're being paid to play a sport, and pretty heftily being paid too. You're getting paid a lot of money. And now you're going to like, oh, we're going to boycott, we're going to sit out. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Okay. Well, then if I'm these owners, I'm sorry, and it sounds mean, then guess what? Well, I don't feel like paying you today. Because if you're not going to put a product on the floor for me that I'm paying you to do, I'm not going to pay you.
It's an interesting take. I mean, there's people on both sides of the fence on this, and I respect both sides. But again, kind of like Anthony, I would like to listen and understand better what not playing accomplishes, because there's kids that look up to these players, and this is baseball as well. Baseball has postponed. I think the A's Rangers Phillies Nats series is postponed, at least for today. But, they've already said that they're going to come out and play tomorrow. So what does sitting out 2 days accomplish? And then Kenny Smith was left. He left the set last night, and he was very emotional, and I can respect that. But I think Shaquille O'Neal kind of backed it up and said, how do we go back and play after this? Because now it's going to look like we just are done. Like it's over. We said our piece, and now we go back and play. I mean, I thought the NBA did a great job of giving every sort of demand to the players in conversations and putting it on the floor and letting them utilize the backs of their uniforms. But again, like if you're not playing, that doesn't get out there. These kids have nothing to look up to and say, okay, this is what you do in a situation. And maybe this is the right situation for them, is sitting out. But to me, I would rather see someone taking a stand and saying, I'm going to play through the adversity because this is what you should strive to do. But that's just my scenario.
Was it J.R. Smith? He's the one who used to be for the Cavs. Who's he on right now?
Lakers.
Okay, he got some heat for what he said yesterday, when it was like, oh, you guys wanted to see us play for months, and now you're not going to get to see us. And somebody was like, you're making it about yourselves, and it shouldn't be. If you are trying to do some kind of political statement, it shouldn't be about you. It should be about whatever your cause or something like that. He took a lot of heat for that, which I thought, well, you should, because now you're just making it to be selfish. Like, oh, you guys want to see us play basketball? Well, guess what? We're not going to play basketball today because we feel about this way about this subject. So we're not going to play now. So take that. And it's like,
well, it was two different topics, because they didn't play basketball because of COVID. It wasn't because of social injustices at that point. And then it became about social injustice whenever, obviously, all this stuff started to happen. And they said, well, we're not going to play. Kyrie was a huge advocate. I mean, wasn't he kind of spearheading this for a while? And then they say, we're not going to play. I'm under the belief, and this is my personal opinion, that you can do more by being on the floor than you can by not, because basketball is their outlet. And I think, Paul, that's what you're trying to say. Basketball is their outlet. It has been their outlet. And if let's be honest, if one of these gentlemen are stocking shelves at Walmart, they don't have the voice that they do being the greatest NBA player of all time, as Quinn would say, in LeBron James. So it's one of those things where use your platform for the right reasons, and be Irish 30 saying, do you really think it's all in, or just certain few that are talking for everyone?
Well, they said what, the Lakers and the Clippers are voting to end it right now. The Lakers and the Clippers have already voted that said they are
voted today. They're playing.
Well, they're going to play, but they voted the other day when they were talking about it. Those two teams are saying, we just want this to be over. They don't even want to play the playoffs anymore. They want to be done. But, overall, the league's going to say, we're going to continue on and we're going to keep going. But, my thing is there are already no fans in the stands. They're already losing revenue left and right.
Ratings are dog crap.
Yeah, the ratings are crap. So you know what? Honestly, this is just hurting themselves even more, because now the fans that were kind of teetering watching a little bit of whatever you want to call that basketball, whether it's playoff basketball or not, they might now be like, you know what, I don't really care. Click and let's go watch Netflix. And they're going to turn.
My take on everything, it's been a crazy last 6 months, right, with COVID and everything. And we all, as a society in the United States, all of us everybody just needs to get along. I can understand why they sat out and why they didn't play and why they're not playing today. We all just need to just get along and all hold hands we've been in the same spot. Sports really help in this situation, but they decided not to play, and that's their decision. We all just need to get along, basically.
Jeff, and I want to agree with some of what you say too. I stay silent anytime we do any topic like this because of 2 reasons. I won't ever possibly understand what it's like to be an African American of any color. I don't understand what it's like to be a woman or anything like that either in society. I also don't understand what it's like to be a high paid athlete and have that platform, have that money, and have that voice. So it's one of those things. I mean, it's all opinion based, and of course, we're all allowed to have our opinions on the matter. But it's not that I don't want to say that it doesn't matter, but it's something that it's really not going to get us anywhere because we can't understand or put ourselves in those shoes. So it's hard for me to even talk about something like that because I can't possibly understand how to put myself in anybody else's shoes except for my own right now.
No, I mean, but honestly, I get it. But this is also a sports talk show, and you're allowed to have your opinion.
Absolutely.
We're not going to crush anybody for it, one way or the other. It's just it's seeing each other's ways of viewing things, and sometimes you believe in them in yourself, and sometimes you're just trying to be the devil's advocate. So, any final thoughts on this before we move on to what I think is probably a even more interesting topic than this, because there's a lot more on the line for a lot more players, I believe, from a sports standpoint, obviously not from a life standpoint. Any final thoughts?
I just wanted to point out that I liked what you said yesterday, where you made the point that there's a lot of youth that are standing for things without knowing what they're standing for. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there's really broad platitudes out there with these athletes, but no one's taking the time to dig deeper into what they're standing for and what their beliefs are. And that's going to be the problem with these kind of things. The youth is going to see it and hear it, but then not know what they're really doing it for in a deep level.
The way I explained it to a couple of people the other day, and I'm glad you said that, because it's like this. When Ken Griffey Jr. played in the major leagues, you went from wearing, especially kids, went from wearing their hats forward all the time to flip backwards. So they emulate what they see on television, what they think is cool. It's culture. So no matter if we think it's cool or we don't think it's cool, as parents, as friends, as spectators, as consumers, kids are going to dictate what sells. And the problem is sometimes they see things on television. I mean, there's reasons that some kids aren't allowed to play violent video games because they don't want that to be replicated in real life, because in a video game you just get to come back, right? In real life you don't. So there's reasons for everything, and I hope that we're not taking a huge stand on anything. Again, we have kept silent on this because we want to listen, and I cannot listen and speak at the same time. So hopefully people realize that that's kind of where we're at. We're not taking a stance. We're not taking a side. We're just here. We want to be the voice of people. So we're always interested to hear these topics, and sometimes you just have to go down the road and say it's part of our life now. It's literally, if you go to the basis of sports, the Mecca, ESPN.com, it is all over the front page. And when that happens, you have to at least address it. So another thing we have to address, Nebraska. The Cornhuskers the players are suing the Big Ten because of the postponement of the season. And Billy Mack is loving it. Why do you like that so much, Billy?
I just like anything that's applying pressure to that clown over there that's running the Big Ten. So I think this is good. It's good PR for the players. I don't think nothing's going to happen of it, but I do like negative PR to that guy, and I need to get him out.
Where's the when we need him?
Yeah, where is Mackenzie? McNuggies would be all over that. He would have a Billy Mack shirt on right now.
He's taking
if
his
he could.
driving test today.
He got it, though.
Did
Congratulations
he
to
get it?
McNuggies. He got it.
Yeah.
We're all proud of you, buddy. And he took it in a Pirates shirt, so that's even better. So he's got his pictures.
With a big magnet car, you just got to get the sweet car, and he's set.
That might be the first real win of the year for the Pirates. So congratulations, McNuggies, on passing his driver's test. I know he's excited. He's ready to go do some games. Other takes on the Cornhuskers. I mean, do you think they could win? Like everything said, do you think they could win? And at the end of the day, what's the victory? Like, what does that look like, Paul?
No, I don't think they could win. It's unfortunate to say that, but I mean, if they go and they sue the Big Ten and they happen to win, now what are you doing? Are you getting ready for a season in less than 2 weeks? In less than a week? I mean, what's that going to do? You know, the Big Ten's going to appeal it.
These, right? The following years, it would change the way they do things going down the road, right? Don't you think? If they were to happen to win, like a commissioner couldn't just shut down the league. It would have to be a vote of every school, right? Something of that nature.
But what do you like?
Instead of giving one person or one committee all the power? Yeah, I could see that going down, but. I mean, what's it do for you now? What's it do for the guys or the seniors that are on that team right now? Hey, you won.
Maybe you can get your year back. Maybe you can get your eligibility back for another year.
But do you have to sue to do that? The Big Ten? Like, what is it? Big Ten doesn't have anything to do with it. You want to sue the NCAA. They're the one that regulate your eligibility, right?
Maybe that would be part of the lawsuit. I mean, I don't know exactly who they're – I mean, I know that you just said they're suing the Big Ten, but maybe it goes deeper than that. I mean,
but the NCAA, from this standpoint, think about this. The NCAA gets to go, we got nothing to do with it because they're playing over here. You guys aren't playing. That's your fault. That's
right. And that's the other thing is I think the only way this even comes up is if the other conferences play. If they don't play or they get shut down, then there's no chance to win. But if the SEC, ACC, Big 12, and those other conferences play, then that's the only chance you got to even win.
Look at Britt Taylor saying, yes, I agree, Billy. Big Ten president must go. Britt, first off, I want to give Britt credit because he came in here yesterday and placed a hat in here over top of another hat. And sneaky, that was impressive. Like, I noticed it about an hour later, but I was like, how did that get there? And I was like, Britt.
Oh, yeah. It was so sneaky.
Did he do it when I was right next to him?
Oh, yeah. Your back was the way you're sitting right now. And
I will not disclose that information at this time.
I'm probably betting it had something to do with the baseball fields down in Scene, right?
I cannot disclose that information at this time.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, this is a good point, too.
Kicks them out. Hey, you know what? They might be happy with that. They'll go to the Big 12 and play.
Great, you win.
Wouldn't that be awkward if they went back to the Big 12 after they left the Big 12?
I'll be like, yeah, I don't want to stir up a big thing about it. It was a nice joke. It was a nice prank, and it was well played by Britt Taylor, our official voice of the Girard Indians this year. I know he is amped up and ready to go. Indians playing tomorrow, and again tonight, guys. We have a ton of games on the network. We got about 6 minutes or so before we got to tune out. But quickly, let's go through our picks that are sure to go wrong. So we're trying to hedge our bets a little bit here, so we're not picking. All right, we're going to go down the list. It's Canfield, Howland. Billy Mack, who you got?
Canfield.
EB.
Canfield.
Muntz.
Cardinals.
Ty.
Say Canfield.
Anthony.
Canfield.
JB.
Go Tigers.
And Quinn.
Canfield.
I take the Cardinals as well. Here's a big one. Niles and Jefferson. Billy.
I'm going Jefferson.
Okay. EB.
I'm going to go Niles.
Muncie.
Country boys.
Red Dragons.
Ty.
Niles.
Anthony.
Jefferson.
JP.
Niles.
Q.
Niles.
I'm going Niles as well. Louisville versus Dover. Let's go reverse skate. Q.
Dover.
JB.
Dover.
Anthony.
Louisville.
Ty.
I say Leopards.
Muncie.
Louisville.
EB.
Louisville.
Mac.
Dover.
I'm going with the Leopards myself. Sebring versus McDonald. I'm taking Sebring on a whim. Billy Mack.
McDonald.
EB.
Not close.
Yeah, McDonald.
Muncie.
I'll go with McDonald.
Ty.
We'll say Sebring with the upset.
Anthony.
Sebring runs that triple option. It's going to be closer than expected, but I'm picking McDonald.
JB.
McDonald.
Quinn.
Yeah, McDonald.
All right, and the pick of the night, it's Ursuline and Cheney. Who you got, Quinn?
Ursuline.
JB.
Cheney.
Anthony.
Ursuline, 38-28.
Ooh, and a score. Bonus points. Ty Bartel.
Go with Cheney.
Muncie.
I'm going to take the Cowboys because Ursuline's got a lot to prove. So,
EB.
Going Cowboys. They were close to a lot of those games last year. I think they put it together.
Mac.
I think somebody scores 40 tonight, so I'm going to go Ursuline.
Last team that has the ball wins. The Irish get it in the last, and I think Reardon's going to have a big night. And I'm talking about Matthew, so I'm taking the Irish. All right, guys, it is time for our favorite. Well, wait, time out. I missed it.
He was hoping you forgot too.
I missed it. Yeah, son of a. All right, Jeff Bezos with the Yankee update. What do you got for us, Jeff?
Hello.
Sorry, that's me.
Shows you nobody wants to listen.
I know. This is 2 out of the last 3 weeks have been struggling. Judge is out. I'm not going to say the injuries. Obviously, they're out.
You just name the injuries.
I know. Billy, just go jump on another team in 2 weeks. So the update is it looks bad. 27 games in. Tampa.
Hold on. How many you say they're back at Tampa?
And
Jeff, hold on. How many games are they back at Tampa?
2.
I thought I saw 4 yesterday.
No. 2.
Okay.
Go look tonight.
Let's look
Paul,
it up.
Paul, when you get off this, you
who's
can't.
got the wild card lead?
Cleveland.
Oh, that's right. But they're not better than the Yankees.
You don't like baseball.
Doesn't matter.
2.5.
You don't like baseball.
2.5. Okay.
Is that your update?
2.5.
Yeah, that's it. I'm
That's right. Atlanta Braves swept both games yesterday from them too. So,
Paul, you're 2-2 against the Yankees. Don't talk shit until
we almost.
actually does
Hey,
something.
we're leading our division.
Hey, Paul,
Where are you at your division?
Hey, Paul. You guys won all those division titles and won 1 World Series. Got swept by the Yankees in the World Series. Paul, you can't talk shit to anybody.
We're talking about the past, Jeff. I'm talking about now.
Hey,
current, right now, today.
Currently, look bad. I'm not losing hope.
And you were only 2 years old when the Braves beat the Yankees.
We're fine. Had a little panic mode. We're good. Trust me.
A little panic mode. 6 games lost in a row, something like that.
Hey, we're all right, baby. It's just business, baby. Just business.
And Jeff Bezos, Jeff Bezos Yankee update brought to you by Clientele. When you're looking for that close, nice cut, unlike the Yankees, you're looking for Clientele. So thank you to them, Matt. And, what? What did he mumble?
Nothing. We're gonna meet.
All right. See you guys. Let's go with our G. Burbick Farms. What's your beef? Let's start with Quinn. This ought to be good. I think I know where this is going.
No, I don't got beef today. I'm good. I'll have beef tomorrow.
He's got salt for that beef, though.
Sure does.
The only beef I want is actual beef because I'm kind of hungry right now.
Jeff Bezos, go ahead.
No beef. Just shout out Steve. We miss you. You got to come back on, Steve. That's my beef.
Anthony.
Disclaimer that I haven't seen this personally in any of the games that I've been broadcasting, but I have followed coaches on Twitter that have kind of said they've been seeing this. You have an unbelievable privilege to play a sport, and if you're not going out there and giving effort, then I think you're kind of taking that for granted. So athletes, don't take this season, however long it is, for granted. Go out there, give everything for your team because you don't know how long it's going to last.
I got beef now. Brian's here.
Oh, yeah. Ty, go ahead.
I guess my beef right now would be with Jeff Bezos. I was talking about how good the Yankees were. I don't know, Jeff. I feel like your house is so dark because you don't change your light bulbs. You just talk about how good the old ones were.
Oh!
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
We're all right. It's gonna be all right.
Just business, baby.
Just business, baby. Just business.
All right, Muncie, what do you got?
My beef is it's a weird kind of way I'm going to go with this beef. So my beef is going to be it's like a future beef, I guess, is like because it's coming. But these people who are going to complain about having to social distance and sit away from each other and wear masks at football games and stuff. Listen, it starts tonight. We have a chance to get our 6 games in this season. So do what you need to do. Do the right thing. Don't complain about it. Be thankful you're being able to get into the stadiums at all. And if you can't, then you know what? You can buy the game and sit your ass at home and do whatever you want in the privacy of your own home and watch it on YSN. But if you get the privilege of going to these games, if you're a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, whoever you got the ticket from, if you get to go to the game and do what's being asked of you, wear a mask, social distance, do it so that these kids can keep playing and have a season.
Eric Bailey.
My beef is these kids who are wearing hoodies outside when it's 90 freaking degrees. I don't know if it's a trend or what looks cool about it, but it looks absolutely miserable, and it's 95 degrees out today. So hope you lost some pounds. That's really all I got. And Father Paul. When I'm expected to be somewhere, I'll be there. I don't need you to sit there and be like, I need you here by 6. Don't ground me, Dad. Don't ground me.
Hey, trust me, I got to deal with like 30-some announcers. I got to make sure I'm top of everybody and they're doing what they need to do. Because look, we have to put you guys on a game tonight because somebody backed out.
Well, that was special circumstances.
I know, but I'm just saying. Keep people on track.
Billy Mack, what possibly could your beef be? Because you're living the dream.
I actually want to go the other way. I want to go positive, steak, if you will. I just want to say, hey, I'm extremely excited for YSN and for all the announcers that are going on this weekend and tonight. Good luck. Enjoy yourself. I can't wait to watch. If you haven't signed up, go out there, sign up, get on the pay-per-view. It's worth it. Okay, and one last thing is happy birthday, Logan Bell.
Absolutely. Happy birthday to Logan. A huge supporter. His family and he himself, a huge supporter of YSN, one of my favorite people in the world. Oh, speaking of favorite people in the world, look at that. Hi.
There she is.
She can't hear it. Tell her hi.
Say hi, Avery.
Hi, Avery.
There she is.
Munson's pride and joy.
Quickly, not really beef, but just more of a question. Like Billy Mack, all the hair, you took all the facial hair away. What's going on?
He's not loyal to his hair either.
Zing! He's gone. He's gone.
No, it was a serious question. He had like this good old beard going on here, and then like all of a sudden it's like down to just a little goatee. What happened?
Oh, it's phase 2 at Max Baseball Academy. I got a new Texas Ranger pitcher coming in, so I want to change the image a little bit, change it around, rearrange the furniture.
There you go. Look at Jack. Look, he's as red as the twin shirt.
Over here.
You gotta breathe, dude.
Yeah. He's gonna die. We're gonna lose our broadcaster for tomorrow.
Don't know.
Somebody for Brookfield now.
Anybody want to do a Brookfield game? Yeah. Oh gosh! All right. My beef is just anybody that sees anything negative about what we're about to do and embark on tonight. It's been a long time coming. We're excited. We have 50+ schools. 5 of them playing tonight, guys. We are excited, and I'm excited for all of you out in YS Nation. Sit back and enjoy the ride because it is going to be beautiful tonight, tomorrow, and forevermore. YS Nation is taking over. That's going to do it for our show for this Thursday, and we'll have Football Friday with all of our picks tomorrow. Don't miss that from 3 to 4 right here on YSN. EB, JB, congratulations. Welcome to the team. Have a good time. EB, enjoy your Mcdonald and Sebring tonight, buddy.
Game time, baby. Game time.
Go Trojans.
That's going to do it. See you guys later.